Welcome back to EDUx Talks. Today, we're diving into a question you've probably felt in your bones. Why does exercise make you feel happier? We've all had that moment. A walk after a rough day, a quick dance break in the kitchen, a short run, and suddenly the world feels lighter. People say it's the endorphins. And yes, endorphins are part of the story. But the real answer is way cooler, and it starts working in as little as 5 to 10 minutes. Here's where we're going. First, what's happening in your brain during and after a workout. Second, how different types of movement change your mood in different ways. Third, simple ways to get the happy effect even if you're busy, stressed, or not a gym person. Let's go. You've heard of endorphins, your body's own pain relievers. When you push yourself, your brain and pituitary gland release endorphins that bind to opioid receptors. That can dull pain and create that warm, floaty, I'm okay feeling. But there's a twist. A lot of the endorphins measured in your blood don't actually cross into the brain. So how do you feel them? Your brain also makes endorphins locally, and those can shift your mood. But they're not the whole picture. Enter the underrated heroes, endocannabinoids. One of them is literally called anandamide, from ananda meaning bliss. During moderate rhythmic movement, think an easy jog, brisk walk, cycling, dancing, levels of these endocannabinoids rise. They can move through the brain's barriers, they activate CB1 receptors, and they create that calm, clear, less anxious state many people call the runner's high. Studies show that if you block these receptors in animals, the runner's high disappears. In humans, levels of anandamide tend to spike after 20 to 30 minutes of steady movement. So if you felt amazingly chill after a bike ride that wasn't all out, that's likely endocannabinoids doing their thing. Now let's add dopamine to the mix, the motivation and reward chemical. When you move, you nudge dopamine in brain areas that help you initiate action and feel rewarded afterward. This is part of why the hardest part is starting, but when you finish even a short session, you feel proud and more likely to do it again. Finish enough small sessions and your brain starts to expect that little reward. The habit loop gets stronger. Motion feeds motivation. Serotonin and norepinephrine join the party too. Movement helps more tryptophan, the building block of serotonin, reach your brain. Serotonin supports mood stability, and norepinephrine boosts focus and alertness. That's one reason a quick walk can make you feel less foggy and more steady, even under stress. Speaking of stress, let's talk cortisol. During a workout, stress hormones often rise. That's normal. Your body is mobilizing energy to do a hard thing. But here's the key. After you finish, those levels drop, and your nervous system rebalances. Over time, this makes you more resilient. Your heart rate variability improves, your vagus nerve, the calm down pathway, gets stronger, and your stress response becomes more efficient. You feel less rattled by everyday stuff. There's also a quieter, long-term effect happening with every session. Exercise signals your brain to release a growth factor called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as brain fertilizer. It helps brain cells strengthen connections and supports new growth, especially in areas linked to mood and memory. That's one reason people who move regularly often report lower anxiety, better memory, and more emotional balance. This isn't just placebo. Movement literally changes the structure and wiring of your brain over time. And we have to redeem lactate. It's not the villain you might remember from high school gym class. Lactate isn't bad lactic acid buildup. It's a fuel and a messenger. Your muscles make it when you're working, your brain can use it for energy, and it also nudges the brain to release more BDNF. So that burn you sometimes feel? Part of that is a signal that later pays off in clarity and mood. Let's talk inflammation. Chronic, low-level inflammation has been linked to low mood and fatigue. When you exercise, your muscles release signaling proteins called myokines. One of the first to rise is IL-6, which, in the context of exercise, helps trigger anti-inflammatory effects later. Over time, this shift toward a less inflamed state can support better mood and energy. You may not feel that immediately, but it quietly stacks up in your favor. Now, none of this happens in isolation. The psychology matters too. Exercise builds self-efficacy, that feeling of I can do hard things. It can add routine to your day, which your brain loves. If you move with other people, you get connection and belonging, both powerful mood boosters. If you do it outdoors, sunlight helps reset your circadian rhythm, which improves sleep, and better sleep improves mood. Even music makes a difference. Upbeat tracks can change your perceived effort, so the same workload feels easier and more fun. So how much do you need for a mood lift? Less than you might think. For many people, 5 to 10 minutes is enough to feel a shift. A brisk walk, a couple of flights of stairs, a short dance break. These can change your chemistry quickly. For a stronger, more reliable buzz, aim for 20 to 45 minutes of moderate, steady movement. You should be a little breathless but still able to speak in short sentences. Running, cycling, swimming, fast walking, dancing, jump rope, choose what you enjoy. What about high-intensity training? HIIT can be great, but the mood effect is more individual. Some people feel amazing, others feel wrung out if they do too much too soon. If you're new or stressed, start with moderate intensity. The goal is to finish and think, I could do that again tomorrow. Consistency matters more than heroism. Strength training absolutely counts. Lifting weights or doing bodyweight circuits boosts dopamine, improves sleep, builds confidence, and over time also raises BDNF. If you love lifting, keep it. If you're unsure, try a simple routine. Squats, push-ups against a wall or counter, a hip hinge or deadlift pattern with light weight, and a plank. 2 or 3 rounds, done. Your brain will thank you. If anxiety is your main struggle, choose movements that feel rhythmic and controlled. Walking, swimming, cycling, yoga, tai chi, these often boost endocannabinoids and vagal tone without spiking stress too high. Pair your movement with slower breathing, in for 4, out for 6, and you'll likely feel an even deeper calm after. Here's a simple experiment you can try today. Before you move, rate in the mood from 1 to 10. Do 10 minutes of something easy. Walk around the block, dance to 2 songs, do 3 cycles of 30 seconds of fast stairs and 60 seconds easy. Then rate your mood again. Most people see a bump by at least 1 or 2 points. Track that for a week and watch the pattern. Your brain loves evidence. A quick myth check. Is it all endorphins? Not really. Endorphins matter, especially for pain relief during tougher workouts, but the high often comes more from endocannabinoids and the blend of dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. That's why even gentle movement can feel good. Another myth, it only counts if it's an hour in the gym. Not true. Movement snacks, 1 to 3 minutes spread through your day, can lift mood, sharpen focus, and stack up to big benefits by evening. If you hate exercise, let's rename it movement. Make a joy list. What movement actually feels fun or at least tolerable to you? Walking with a podcast, dancing while cooking, shooting hoops, gardening, roller skating, short hikes, a beginner boxing drill, 10 minutes of yoga with calming music. When you pick something you don't dread, it's way easier to be consistent, and consistency is what changes your brain. A few practical tips to make it stick. The 10-minute rule. On low motivation days, tell yourself you only owe 10 minutes. If you want to stop after that, stop. Most of the time, you'll keep going. If not, you still win. Stack it with something you already do. After brushing your teeth in the morning, do 15 squats. After lunch, take a 7-minute walk. Before your shower, 10 push-ups against the counter. Make it social or scenic. Walk with a friend, join a low-pressure class, or choose a route with trees or sunlight. Nature and company are mood multipliers. Use music on purpose. Make a playlist that starts around 90 to 120 beats per minute, then ramps up to 120 to 140 beats per minute, then cools down. Your brain will follow the arc. How often? For mood, 3 to 5 days a week of 20 to 45 minutes moderate movement is a great target, with tiny movement snacks on other days. But remember, even one session helps. Think of each bout as a reset button for your brain chemistry and a deposit in your long-term resilience bank. What if you're dealing with low mood or depression? Research shows that regular movement, especially brisk walking and resistance training, can meaningfully reduce symptoms for many people, sometimes comparable to first-line treatments. It's not a magic cure, and it's not a substitute for professional care when you need it, but it's a powerful tool in the toolkit. If getting started feels overwhelming, shrink the goal to 2 minutes. Put on shoes, step outside, walk to the corner. That's a win. Tomorrow, do it again. A few quick FAQs I get a lot. Best time of day? The best time is the time you'll actually do it. Morning movement can set your mood and rhythm for the day. Afternoon can beat the slump. Evening works too. Just leave a buffer before bed if intense workouts rev you up. Indoors or outdoors, both work. Indoors adds light and nature. Indoors removes friction. Pick the path of least resistance. What if I'm sore or tired? Dial down intensity. Gentle movement can reduce soreness and still boost mood. Zero is rarely better than a little. Let's bring it home. Exercise makes you happy because it flips multiple switches at once. Endorphins ease discomfort, endocannabinoids bring calm and contentment, dopamine rewards action and builds motivation. Serotonin and norepinephrine steady your mood and sharpen focus. Lactate and myokines signal your brain to grow and adapt. And psychologically, you build proof that you can show up for yourself, even on tough days. You don't need perfect gear or a perfect plan. You need something you'll actually do.